Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. We're back out at my brother's new property. We're gonna try to blaze a little bit of a rough road through there. Back with the CASE DL550. We're gonna start out with the Dozer blade, do a little bit of work with the Dozer blade, switch over to the bucket. We got some trees we need to clear in a high spot I gotta move. And I'm gonna do my best to answer a whole bunch of questions we got about this CASE DL550. I need to hook my hoses up first. They've got this real slick hose storage situation going on. It is a 6-way blade. It's got an adjustable top link, just like a regular finish Dozer does. They got plenty of mounting options if you want to run a systems on it. Remember, this has that C-frame that goes underneath and attaches back there. There's no other system like that right now. We'll show you that later in a little bit more detail when we take it off, but it's pretty chilly right now, so I just kind of want to get to work and start using this thing. I do want to say though, before we start using this is my first time using that Dozer blade, so you're about to see the learning curve real time. This is a different feel than a traditional style Dozer. Your visibility metrics are different. Your gut metric, whenever you're coming up and down, is a little bit different. So we're gonna have a learning curve and we're gonna do it together because people keep asking about that. And the best way I know to answer it, a little bit of a stump there. Best way I know to answer it is to just show you. So first impressions, I thought I was gonna be frustrated. The visibility is actually way better than what I had expected. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can't get this stump out with that blade, and then I'll kind of go over the controls with it and how the 6-way works. I think it's a pretty slick setup. This is my tripod for today, the good old Pittsburgh magnetic holder. Give her the old foot test. Okay, see what we can do here. Next on the list, we got this maple right here. We're gonna go ahead and take out. On the way to that maple, let me show you the controls we got. Push to operate. Now I will show you one thing that I really do like. Lift this up. Obviously I can't get my cab door open. I'm bad about this. I always forget. I take my seatbelt off, I'm ready to get out. I can't get out. There's this little knob right here. I just gotta pull it and it drops it for me. I don't have to run back through all the safety checks to get out the door. So you can see out the window behind me, Viz is pretty good that way. Push to operate. If we go backwards, it automatically shows the backup camera. This is all your blade right here. Just like a Dozer control on their CASE machines. Angle is right here. Tilt, very intuitive right there. Up and down. I've got 3 speeds over here. Just like a Dozer, I can push forward and it locks. Where we're going, I got 1, 2, little throttle, 3. Pull it back, go backwards, same thing, you can lock it in reverse. Let's do this maple. It's definitely starting to get in my way. I need to be able to run that edge off so water can kind of roll out of there. We're not putting any ditches in. This is just a rough access for a hunting camp. So let's get her going. thing had a way bigger root system than I thought it would for the size of the tree. Quite a bit bigger than what I expected for the size of that maple. But it got it out, and I am 90% confident if this machine didn't have the extra strength from that C-frame, we'd have messed something up on the loader arms if we just had a regular 6-way quick attach blade on there. I'm gonna run this road a whole bunch, get this all cleaned up. Then we're gonna switch back over to the bucket because we got several trees out by the entrance and I've got a big high spot. And I wanna take all the dirt from the high spot and put it further back in the woods. So we're gonna use a loader here in just a minute. So aside from a couple spots where the blade's just bouncing off some rocks, and if you work where we work and you're just doing a road and you're gonna put stone on it anyway, you don't try to get the rocks out. I promise you. You think it's small, but it goes to the core of the earth. Aside where we're bouncing off a couple rocks in the road there, I mean, it carries really well. I got no complaints. And actually, the learning curve wasn't as bad as I thought. I can definitely see the corners, especially for angled. When I peep out this window from the inside, I can see the back side of that. I can see what the dirt is doing on the back side of that corner. So that was kind of helpful too. And just reevaluating my gut metrics and my visual metrics, and we got her. I feel like a feller could grade with that. I think if you're a good operator, it wouldn't take you too long to catch on to it. This is what I was talking about. There's an old cabin that collapsed a long time ago. There's some stuff out here we got to clean up at some point. Hopefully be using that in a bucket to get it all together, but my brother wants to sort through it. I guess there's a couple things in here he's going to try to save. I think he said there's an old cast iron stove buried in here somewhere that he wants to snag out of there. I don't know if I'll get to that today or if that's going to be the next video, but either way, we'll be on this at some point. Just kind of walking through the woods, checking a few things out. It's a pretty cool piece of property he's got here. Probably the #1 question we'll get asked about this thing is why not just buy a dozer? Well, the biggest thing is versatility, and you'll see that in today's video. I've got to do some load and carry operations, and I got to do some work with that bucket. And I also have to do dozer work as well. To go get the dozer off the job site Mike's got it on, it's a 3-hour round trip for me. That's just drop off. This is a couple days job, which means I'd have to do it twice, which means that's 6 hours of trucking. I can save 6 hours of trucking by just having the one machine, by just having that versatility. That also means I get 6 more hours of production on this job site. Now, obviously, he didn't buy this, and it's not his, it's just a demo unit, so I don't know if he's gonna end up with one in the future or not, but I will say I can definitely see the benefit of that versatility. We're gonna go ahead and take the dozer off and do some CTL work back at the road end of things. Now let me show you, some people are asking how hard it is to take this off. It's pretty daggone simple. I was worried about that one, I'm not left-handed. It came off fine, no? So this is the C-frame. Keep that in mind as we run through these functions. And right under here, there's 2, can you see my finger, follow it? There's a pin on each side that holds that back side of the C-frame. Just kind of remember that as we're going through the functions so you can visualize it. So we are in dozer mode. It says it right there, pattern dozer, dozer flow. Parking brake is on. Push to operate. Oh, we're not, oh! Hydraulics now in the neutral position. Now they are. Push to operate. Green light. We're good to go. Now I've got to use 2 hands to do this, but there's a button right here you can see with the dozer blade. I hit that. C-frame's ready to retract. Oh, I guess I can do it one-handed. Down here on the control. C-frame pin's retracted. On this joystick, we just lower it. Until it comes to a rest. Then we go back up here. C-frame pin's ready to extend. The frame is lowered and out of the way. We hit that. And now those pins that retracted to let the C-frame drop are extended again. It runs it that way so that space, that void, is occupied when you're running a CTL. That way it doesn't get all filled up with a bunch of gunk and mud. If they were retracted while you're in CTL, they kind of get filled up with junk and you wouldn't be able to get the C-frame arms up in there. But now we're done with that. So we gotta switch back to ISO mode. We gotta put the parking brake on to do that. Just another safety feature. You hold the ISO button, then it switches ISO, high flow. Parking brake is still on. We hit it again. Green light right there, we're ready to go. Now we're in CTL mode. Well, now we'll hit this up here, but I gotta hold that. I gotta do 2 hands. I hit that unlock, and I cycle that, and that's gonna release the quick attach. So I hold the unlock button, I run that. I don't know if you can see it, but there's little flags down there, little markers that come up to indicate it's unlocked, just a little bit of a visual representation. And we back out real slow and kind of tilt forward. And I'm gonna roll forward until that plate rests on the dozer frame, just like that, and then we just kind of back out over. These are those little flags I was talking about. Those stick up. That's just kind of a visual mechanical way for you to realize that you're not locked in. And I'm gonna kind of shove you blindly back in there so I don't, you know, have myself under this. We're gonna just reach back around there real quick. You'll see those pins are extended. Like I was saying, that keeps those pinholes from getting caked full of mud. Here's what those pinholes look like on the frame. Here's what we look like off the machine. So you can kind of see where my car's at as I'm in the process of looking for a new truck, or a used truck. We got a pretty good high spot right here. I'm just going to turn this into loader work. We're going to take that, and if we get into some good material, which I think we will pretty quick, we're just going to sprinkle that along the road, then we'll bust it all out. So we're going to take out from that tree, this section of tree right through here basically. We're just going to take them and shove them downhill. So we're gonna try to take all the topsoil and roots and stuff like that on the top layer. I'm gonna load them up and then just lose them in a ditch back there. And hopefully... People are weird, man. This fella just drove by, stopped, didn't roll down the window or anything. I was just standing here doing the camera thing. And then just kind of looked at what I was doing with a very concerned look on his face. And then this drove off. You know, you could roll the window down and say hi or something. Anyway, we're taking all the junk and we're shoving her way back there in the woods. I packed a whole bunch of mud on the back microphone, so I gotta talk to you like this until I clean that. But you can ride along, I'll show you. So this is exactly what I was hoping to get into. It's like the layer right above the sandstone where we were at. So I'm just gonna keep coming in, load and carrying, I don't know, 5 or 6 more buckets worth of that out. And then we'll try to maybe dress it up a little bit, kind of depends how much time I have. So you can tell here we're really starting to get that transition blended in. Be a lot smoother coming off this road now. Not bad. I think it looks pretty good. We'll have to dig that ditch out a little bit in order to put the culvert in, but I don't want to start that until we have the culvert in the stone, because I want to block that ditch in case it rains and then cause problems washing the road. So we'll probably have one more video on this job. We'll probably go back and see if I can't make a borrow pit, because he's got a pretty good hill. Make a borrow pit back there and try to find that similar material and maybe try to line majority of the road with it. And then we got to sort through that camper and get that stuff all cleaned up. We're making this wide right here because we're going to make kind of a gravel area where he can have a roll-off dumpster delivered, and then we can drag that thing out through the woods or maybe bring the material out to it so we can get rid of all that trash back there. But a lot of progress. And that Minotaur, listen, this is Dirt Perfect's promo or demo. I'll tell you whatever I want, and I'm going to tell you, it's impressive. It does take a little learning curve. It is different. Your visibility metrics, your gut standard of what you're used to on a traditional dozer, you got to get that recalibrated. But like I said, a good operator with a little bit of time, going to catch on pretty quick. And so far, I haven't broken anything on this thing. And that should speak for itself if you follow the channel. That's it for this one though. As far as what's coming up, we should be back on the 555 sometime in January. Actually, Area Diesel Service reached out to me and they've got the solution for the radiator. So we should be back on that. As far as the YouTube yacht goes, we have a major cold snap coming with lows down in the ones, and that's just going to be too cold for concrete. So we got to wait till we get a little bit back warmer. The 10-day forecast looks pretty good. So hopefully we'll be back on the YouTube yacht soon, and maybe a little bit of barn work coming up because the cold snap, and we got to get the animals a little bit better protected. But that's it. That's all I got. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you on the next one.